Siyata Dishmai, we're continuing with the gates of the Baal Shem Tov. We are going to be learning from Toldot Yaakov Yosef. And again, we have a rule: whenever we hear a Shamati Mimori, it's a Torah that can resurrect the dead. So here we have one. Shamati Mimori. The Baal Shem Tov had a question. The Toldot Yaakov Yosef brings us, and again, we're going into a Torah that can resurrect the dead. So just pay attention. The rabbis say, B'chol yom achiz bat kol oy lebriot mi'elbona shel Torah. Every day, there is a voice that comes out, a heavenly voice that comes out, and says, Oi, the Torah is being disrespected. Oi, the Torah is not being learned properly. It's not being... It's from Masechet Avot, right? Pirkei Avot, 6th chapter, second Mishnah. It says there, this idea. And we had the question, is this voice heard or not? In the Olam HaMachshavot, this voice is in a high level of thought. Ein omer ve'en dvarim. There's no ser, there's no words. This is the thoughts that a person has with a good heart. Therefore, we should know that there's no wicked person in this world, or a person that's doing bad or not keeping the Torah, that doesn't have good thoughts of tshuva every day from this voice that goes out. Even the most wicked people in the world have thoughts every day that they should be better. What happens though in the wicked person's heart when they get a good thought? They push it away from their mind, right? And they take their heart to other things. They take their heart to nonsense, to stupid things, to wasting time, or to do wicked things. For sure, he starts to obligate his own soul. The king sent you a precious treasure and you're running away from the king. Like I heard from the name from the Baal Shem Tov, it says the Toldot Yaakov Yosef, says the Melech Shaya memane al Otzar 4 sarim venatlu od haotzar uvarchu. There was a king that he appointed 4 ministers to watch over his treasures. They stole the treasures and escaped. One of them caught himself for a little bit and thought, and he went back by himself. He's just like, what am I doing? I just stole from the king. And he went back. The second one went and asked advice from a wise person, a chacham, and he spoke to his heart, and he saw that it wasn't the right thing, and he went back. Meaning he asked advice from a chacham, and the chacham told him, you're messing with the king, you should probably go back and say sorry. He went back. The third one got to a place that they judge people on those kind of acts, and he got scared, so he went back. And the third one didn't come back at all. The fourth one didn't come back at all. The king gave the most honor to the first one that came back himself, without talking to anybody, just grabbed himself, stopped himself from falling into a pit, and came back. Because he had the good mind to do the work himself. What wasn't the case with the second one, that he had to go find a wise person to ask him questions, and only then he came back. And the third one, only because he saw that they judge people, so he got scared for himself and he came back. The king made him... This was a trippy Torah that we learned with Rav Itzhak as well. There's a lot there, but essentially the second one, right, the third one came back because there was a place where they're judging people and he didn't want to be there, so he came back. The king made him Minahu hamelech liot memune sham lirot ze hatzar. The king appointed him to be the minister there to see the pain. And the Baal Shem Tov said this about himself, and understand this. Right, so there's one that comes back by himself. There's one that... So how we understood it when we were learning this with Rav Itzhak is that a person has all of these levels in them. There's times where we start to do something wrong, and by ourselves we think, okay, this is wrong, I need to do the right thing, I need to do tshuva. That's the most praise, that's the best. There's another one that you're not doing the right thing, and you have to wait for someone to come tell you, to give you advice, to tell you you're not doing the right thing. You have to wait for someone else to tell you that message. And then there's the third person that only when you start to see the judgments arousing, you see people that are actually suffering because of their actions and things are not good, or you start to get the pain, then you start to come back. And then there's the fourth one who he just doesn't come back at all. And the Baal Shem Tov said this about himself. What did the Baal Shem Tov say about himself? It doesn't explain. He says, and then understand it. Was he the third one? Or all of them? So we don't know maybe what the Baal Shem Tov was, but for sure we have all of them. Right? And for sure the Baal Shem Tov had all of them. Right? There's those that we understand ourselves that we're making a mistake and we do better. And there's times that it's not enough, we need someone else externally. And then there's not enough, we have to start to feel the deen to actually really get it. To really get it. And we want to be from the first ones. We want to have a good enough mind to be able to correct our ways and not fall deeper than we need to. We have another teaching from the Ben Porat Yosef, an introduction. It says on this idea of this cruise, there's another cruise that the Chachamim teach us about, that comes out and says, Shuvu banim shovavim, return you naughty boys, return. Right? The Zohar talks about this. Chol yom yotze ba'at kol u'machiz, chayotze de kashem imash nafshach. What's going on here? If it's for the benefits, then why can't it be heard? And the idea is, again, it's the thoughts, and it's written in the book Me'ore Or, because this crows, right? Kaf, Resh, Vav, Zayin, is in Gematria Av Kasa. Two different Kabbalistic names, the name of Chesed and the name of yearning. Sod Abba Ve'ima, Chochman Bina, which is the mind, the thoughts. Therefore, you don't even have a wicked person in the world that doesn't have holy thoughts of doing tshuva. Why? Because he hears this cause, he hears this calling out in his mind. Because again, cause is gematria av kasa, chochma bina. So that means every brain in the world that has a right side and a left side has this calling every single day. Because up above there is no sayer, there is no words up above. Rak b'machshava, it's only in thoughts. And sometimes this voice, this calling, mipi aktanim b'ashotim, it comes from the kids, it comes from foolish people, it comes from drunk people, it comes from these, right, special needs kids. Miyom shechav beit hamikdash, that's how it comes from the day that the temple was destroyed. That there's different ways that Hashem gives this message to us. Well, what is this message? What is a calling? What is a cause? What is a declaration? It's gematria Av and Kasa. Av is one way that you extend the name Yudke Vavke and spell it out by adding Yuds to it. And Kasa is another way of expanding the name Eke, which is a different name of yearning and Nishtokekut.